All right. Shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming with a message this morning. Or is it morning? Let me see here. No, it might be noon this afternoon with a message. And this message is going to cover the prophets of old speaks to the prophetess today. The prophets of old speaks to the prophetess today. And pretty much it is a form of comfort her. Okay. You know how it is said that he will be your comforter when the Ruach comes, he will be your comforter. What me, myself, I am fully aware of what it feels like to be comforted by the Most High Yah. And it's not a one way of feeling Yah's comfort. I can feel his comfort many ways. Even when I'm just stubborn and I just can't seem to grip what the Spirit is saying to me, he'll lead me to hear one of the prophets of old. And when I just read it, then it's almost like the Spirit kind of breaks it down and say, now do you get it? Do you remember me telling you this? This is what this is. He connects it. And I'm so grateful to have the Most High Yah being the comfort that He is. And it's just the ways that He bring this comfort. And I'm grateful that He allowed me to hear what Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah experienced back in their days, because it's identical to the way I see things, the way I understand things, the way I grip things. You know, it's all likened to their way. And it's amazing because when the Spirit leads you and He tells you, and you tend to be stubborn, and continue to try to get you to understand it, a lot of times He have to take you back, mhm, to bring you forward. And I am a grateful prophetess, a servant of the Most High Yah. I really appreciate how He really deals with me. Again, this topic is the prophets of old speaks to the prophetess today. Why? Again, wanting me to be in full comfort where He has me. He said, he that endure unto the end shall be saved. Many people think that when He say, he that endure until the end shall be saved, people really believe He's speaking to you. No, He's letting you know He is a spirit of endurance. When He placed that endurance in you, that's Him. And He said, he that endure to the end shall be saved. Many people don't even understand Yah is with us to the very last end. They don't have no idea of that. So He's not sending His servants down on this, in this world, in this on this earth, and not be there for them. He is a spirit of long suffering in you. He is a spirit of endurance in you. This way you can't boast, or you can't get the glory, you can't get the honor, because He taught you that it is He that is in you that gave you the ability to endure. Woo! Praise the mighty Yah. And I like that. And I give Him the glory and honor and praise for being all that He is in me. Okay? So here, the comfort came a way in which it has come to me several ways. This time it's coming to me through Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel. And when I went over hearing their voice, you see, it was like, wait a minute, we went through the same thing. That's exactly how I see things. I hear things, and I'm not talking about the natural seeing and the natural hearing and the natural understanding of what they are saying. It's a spiritual thing that connects me to these prophets and them to me. Because what they were doing back in the days was for me today. It was for me today. Many will never have the opportunity to understand the very words in which I speak it on this devil platform, which I preach on this platform, and what I minister on this devil platform. Because you would have to be with he that is greater in thee to be able to get the fullness of what is actually being said, taught, and spoke on. Okay, so I'm going to first start off with Jeremiah. So we're going to go to the book of Jeremiah, and we're going to go to chapter 1, and we're going to start with verse 1 through 17. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4 through 17. And it reads, I'm hoping that I'm able to not go into every spiritual niche I see in every verse. I have a problem. And it's a good problem, though. That's the thing about it. It's a problem, but it's a good problem. It's when you see something in the spirit and you feel you have to break it down in the natural. Because people can't get anything in the natural, but it's just a feel in you that you have to break that thing down. So I'm hoping I can do that and just keep it going. So in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4, it says, Then the word of Yah came unto me, saying, notice Jeremiah is actually saying that the word, notice the word came unto me. What people have done, they dropped the ball way back in Genesis 1. And today they just can't pick it up and run with it. It's been down too long. It takes the servant of the Most High Yah that knows the mystery of the Most High Yah to bring it forward today. If that servant don't bring it forth, many mysteries and many things that has taken place will never be seen. Because don't forget, the ball was dropped in the beginning. And Yah left it there. You see, to where we are at today is in such a critical time period to where people can't even understand today is a product of yesterday that has been hidden since the beginning of time. Today is not a product of today. Today is a product of yesterday that was hidden. And today is in the opening, that which was hidden. Likewise, the ball was dropped in the beginning. And Yah is allowing the light to be poured out of the darkness only for his glory, for his honor, and for his praise. Praise the Most High Yah. So when you go to Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4, right here you see the word. of Yah. The reason why you see it in lower cap is because they have no idea when they switch these books and they added, they took away, they printed them up. They don't know where the power is at. They don't know what the word is. So you see how many people that have been misled and that it's lost with the cause and without, all because they have no idea. The Father is not allowing Sister Deborah to bring the light out of darkness in this day and time for the purpose of the world. It's the purpose of his glory, his honor, and his power. Letting you know, I ruled the beginning, and you're going to see I still rule at the end. No matter who dropped the ball, who never went back to pick the ball up, who won't preach it, who won't teach it, who won't speak it, y'all always had a remnant, which is like unto the ram in the bush. Okay? So a lot of people think that truly this creator, this God, this Yah, this one that created all things, he need us. Wait a minute. He was, and the word was with him before we were even created. So you tell me what part of you, flesh and your spirit, that he needs. He gave you his breath. You didn't give him yours. He gave you his image. You didn't give him yours. You see how the clowns clown down here on the earth? And they get all the glory, they get all the praise, they be exalted. And they're a long ways from what I was saying to you today. Home. Home is the bosom of the Father. It is who he is, but first and foremost, it's who he was. It is who he is and who he's going to be. That's home, people. You want to talk about awaken? You can't awaken to anything because there's nothing to awaken to. Because Yah can plainly be seen. All you have to do is look around you. Everything you see represent the Most High Yah in creation. No one can get to A unless he put them on A. They can't even get to B unless he put them on B. But it's the mindset of the flesh of man. He goes and he said, ocean holder. Don't go no further. Ocean say, yeah, yeah. He tells the bird, don't fly east, fly west. They salute him. Yes, sir. He tell the moon, bag down. The moon, not the moon, the sun, come down. The sun bow down to him and head down. He says, sun, come up. And the sun looks up, yea, Lord, yea, Yah, and come up. But when it comes down to human beings, the one that he says, I gave them my breath, Deborah, and I gave them my image, and they lost it in the first creation, back in the beginning. Never went back to pick it up. But yet, everybody want to talk about awakening. What is it you are awakened to? Let me tell you what it is. True darkness. That's what people have awakened to. They have awakened to what you call hardcore darkness, wicked, iniquity, sin, evil. That's what people have awakened to. They awaken to how they can continue to do it at a greater level than they did yesterday. Hello, let's go back to this here. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, then the word of Yah came unto me, saying, first and foremost, the word, it should be capitalized because of the power that rests with it. What you mean, Deborah? See, I told you I couldn't get out of this. I cannot get out. When it says, the word of Yah came unto me, saying, the word itself is connected to the power of the Creator. You know what type of power that is? That's all power in the heavens of the heavens, down beneath the deepest part of the lake of fire, all over the world. This is all power that exists. When you speak of the word of Yah, you now standing in the midst of his power. So Jeremiah is saying, Deborah, the word of Yah came unto me, saying, that's power, y'all. The power of the Creator is connected to his word. And the word of the Creator is himself, and he is all power. That's a ball that also have been dropped since the beginning. What do you mean, Sister Deborah? In the beginning, he created. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3. It says, watch this here. And this is why the ball has been dropped. Just because they changed and smeared and added to this book does not mean that his word don't reside in somebody like me and others. Okay? You just lost. Okay? So in Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, it says, and Yah said, what is it in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4? Jeremiah is saying, he is saying, Yah is saying to him. Watch this here. Verse 3, Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3. Let there be light. Bam. And instant when he said let, what happened? There was light. So you hear the word speak and the power brought forth. That which the word speak, the power brought forth. So when you run your mouth down here on this earth, proclaiming you know his name, and you don't know him at all. So the word is the power. And the power is the word. It's like you with 2 feet. You with 2 hands. They work hand in hand. When that's who Yah's word is, it carries the power. You go to verse 6, Genesis chapter 1 and verse 6. And Yah said, what did Jeremiah say? That the word of Yah came unto me saying. What did he say came to him? The word. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 6. And Yah said, let there be an firmament in the midst of the water. And guess what? It was. The word letting you know he's speaking to that which bring power, to bring that which his power bring forth. But his word connects to his power, and his power obeyed the word. You all just been lying on him. Oh, you want to know, you want to think you know the name? You playing the game. That's what you're doing. You playing the game. Because right here in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4, first and foremost, I have to go to where the Gospel of John is at. I got to step there first before I go to the next one, before I move on. In the Gospel of John, chapter 1, I'm going to have to say it like it was taught to me in my spirit. So I'm not going to say it like you all are used to hearing it. I'm going to say it like it was taught to my spirit. When I'm trying to teach you the mystery of what was dropped in the beginning. And it's really not a mystery. It's just was dropped and no one went to pick it up. But it was dropped to stay where it was. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Even to the very end, where it's going to show up and show out. That's why it's still dropped. Because at the very end, it's going to show up and show out. Now, in the gospel according to John, chapter 1, this is how I received it. In the beginning was the Word. Notice the word is capitalized. You see what I'm saying? What happened in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4, the word is not capitalized. What happened? Because man has went into this book. They have smeared it up. They have smeared it down. They have smeared it all around. They have added. They have taken away. And they have put their own way in words. Many put it in there to deceive many. Why? Because they are the ignorant ones that didn't know that the Ruach HaKodesh was going to pull up. See, the Ruach coming to teach you in all things. To let you know, I don't care about no Enoch book, Deborah. Enoch book can't deliver nan one of them. I don't care about the lost books, Deborah. I don't care about the found books, Deborah. I don't care about King James Version, 1611. I am the Word. And they dropped me way back at the beginning, thinking they can pick me up in a book. Woo, Father, y'all. Oh, yes. They think they can pick the Most High up in a book. And he's sitting here allowing you to study to show yourself approved. Notice it says yourself. He letting you know you study flesh. Study all you want flesh. But guess what? Rightly mean righteous will divide the word of truth. Woo! There it is. There go the mystery. Study to show thyself. That's flesh. Study to show thyself. Rightly, here comes the spirit. Rightly is the spirit. Rightly is righteousness. Dividing the word of truth. Who is that? In Genesis chapter 1, when he spoke and said, let, that was the word. And the power brought whatever that word spoke, that power brought it forth. That's the power, he's saying, rightly divide the word, Deborah, the word, Deborah, the word of truth. So when you get to the Gospel of John, and you look here and you see the gospel according to John chapter 1, you see and it said, in the beginning was the word. Why is that word capitalized? What happened in Jeremiah in chapter 1 and verse 4? When it says the word of Yah, it's the same thing, Yah. It's the same thing as it said in John. But because man, when they went in to add, to take away, to smear up, to smear down, to smear around, they had no idea that Yah had his rams in the bush that's going to hold the mystery and hold spirit and truth with the light in their right hand. So in the Gospel of John, according to John, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was Yah, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah. And then verse 2 said, and the same was in the beginning with Yah. Notice in the Gospel according to John, chapter 1, you see the word capitalized. Why? Because the word is power. You cannot bring all power to the Lord degree. You dropped the ball and you did him like that. And y'all say, Deborah, this need be. I can't grip it in the natural because I'm like, saying that's crazy. To me, I ain't speaking. To me, that's crazy. But as we go on to Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4, the first verse I haven't even got off of. And how many minutes have I been? And I'm 25 minutes in. That's why I say it's my title is The Prophets Speaks to the Prophetess today. You see how Sister Deborah, can't even get out of Jeremiah. First verse coming from Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4. I can't even get out of it. Why? Because it's so much power sitting right there in it. And I'm trying to pull out and I can't. So I'm going to go on. So that's the route I wanted to show you when Jeremiah is saying in verse 4, the word of Yah came unto me, saying. Do you know that that word didn't come to Jeremiah by just the word? Anytime Yah's word travels, it travels with his power. They are hand in hand. Okay. So verse 5 said, now watch this here. Verse 5 is going to show you what the power did. Verse 5, Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Formed? Wait a minute, hold up. Formed before you even formed him. What did he say in Genesis? Let. And the power brought forward what he said, let. And it was exactly what the word said, and the power brought it forward. Here in verse 5, Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Right there made me want to reteach again. And it's not a teaching like you're gonna wake up and you're gonna realize and you're gonna understand. It's a teaching that make me feel good that Yah has allowed me to come back again and speak on what took place before the foundation of the world. Because what took place before the foundation of the world opened your whole spiritual eye to what's actually happened today. It opened your eye to who you are, who you going to be, where you going, where you been, where you come from, where you heading. I'm going to go on and teach that message this week. What took place before the foundation of the world? When I go into Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5, I see that already. When it says in verse 5, before, do you know what that before is from? That the word before is actually letting him know before you were even created, heavens had already done what needed to be done with you. Listen to what it says. Verse 5, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou castest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So his calling, his purpose, his servant of him being a servant of the Most High Yah was assigned to him from the kingdom. It's not a heavenly assignment. It's not a heavenly, it's not a heavenly, it's not an earth assignment. It's not a worldly assignment. It's a heavenly assignment on the earth. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And they're not going to. It ain't meant for them to. This is how lost the minds of people are today. And if they're lost today, guess what? Y'all said they're going to be 100% lost tomorrow because they already lost. It's over. See? So here he's speaking of telling him before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. I knew you before the foundation of the world. That's what he said. Okay. So verse 6, he says, then said I, Yah, behold, look, Jeremiah, I am a child. No, 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 no. Verse 6. Then said I, Yah, behold, I can't speak. I cannot speak, for I am a child. That's what Jeremiah was saying. Who was Jeremiah saying this to? The Most High Yah. He's telling him he can't speak. And he telling him I am a child. But did not Jeremiah just hear him said, I knew you before you was in your mother's belly. I formed thee before you was in your mother's belly. What is it Jeremiah not getting? You see how the flesh can be thrown totally off, even when the spirit pull up. That close. And the spirit pulled up to Jeremiah. He didn't pull up by just word. He came with his power. So he's saying, Jeremiah stepping in and saying, Yah, behold, look, in a sense, look, Yah, I cannot speak. For, what did he say? For I am a child. You speaking to the one who just told you, I knew you before you were a child, before you was even in your mother's belly. I formed thee, I ordained thee, and I predestined thee to be my prophet. Jeremiah sitting here saying, but why is Jeremiah saying that? Because what Jeremiah don't have is what that power about to slap in his mouth. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. In this flesh, this is a mess. We are a hot mess in the flesh. Y'all got to go all the way when he land his spirit and his order on this flesh. Because if not, y'all, your flesh is a hot mess. It'll have you even killing yourself. And you still trying to figure out why. Your own flesh is that horrible towards you. It don't want no good for you. It don't want you to do anything good. It really don't. Unless it's hurting and destroying your own body. That's how sick the flesh is. It makes you think your fun in the flesh is the best fun there is. But your flesh ain't going to tell you it can kill you. It can destroy you. Or if you do this, you can die. If you eat this, you're going to mess up your heart or your. No, it ain't going to tell you that. It's going to tell you, come on, let's go get drugs so you can have a good time. You only live once. Come on, let's go do this here. Let's go do this. You only live once. Let's go have fun. Your flesh will get you in trouble every time. Let's say this is the flesh. And the flesh have something even to give. You trying to give because something is snitching you. Your flesh is say, put that down. Don't do nothing. What for what? You don't have to do that. You don't need to do that. That's that flesh. That's that spirit in that flesh that come to let the flesh have its way. Because the flesh is what holds all that sin and that iniquity, all that wickedness and that evil. So the spirit of that individual come down here just to allow the flesh to rule because it's also in that spirit. So here in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 6, Jeremiah is actually saying, look, I can't speak and I am a child. Watch this here. That's his mouth. And you're going to hear the old prophets' mouth had to be tamed by the right hand of the Father. It had to. Verse 7. Watch this here. But Yah said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatso I command thee shall thou speak. So come down to me and tell me I am a child. As if you got to check me and I'm sending thee out as my servant. So he said to him, Yah said to him, verse 7, but Yah said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. Verse 8, be not afraid of their faces. And that's the fact, because people tend to want you afraid of them, because and when I say their faces, it's because behind the face is a spirit. Uh-huh. And he wanted him to know, watch what he says in verse 8. In verse 8, he said, be not afraid of their faces. Watch this here. For I am. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, Father Yah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I love about the Most High Yah. When he said, I am. Woo! That's deep to me. If only you knew what that word means. When he sat there and told him, be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, said Yah. Verse 9. Then Yah put forth, that right hand. Go, Father. 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 That's what I'm talking about. And you know what? You see how I'm saying that? And you hear me saying, go, Father? I'm going to tell you, people are so lost, they have no idea why I'm saying that. Listen to what it says. And I'm going to break that bad boy down to you so you can understand why I said, go, Father. Go, Father. Go, Father. Watch this here. And after he told Jeremiah, don't be afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, said Yah. Now watch this. Then you come up to 9. Verse 9, it says, then Yah put forth, bam, that right hand. Woo! You see what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm so excited about that is because I'm finna bounce off of Job, okay? And I'm gonna bounce back into Job, but I'm gonna show you how lost people really are. How is it Satan knows about that right hand? But even today in the year of 2025, this December month, nobody seems to know about that hand. See, I just explained verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4. And it says, the word of Yah came unto me, saying. And I told you, the word don't come to nobody without, bam, the power. Because the word is the power, and the power is the word. That's who Yah is. That's who he was. That's who he going to be. You see? So therefore, even in verse 1, when I broke it down, I took you back to Genesis, when he created everything by speaking the word, and the word brought forth, because the power was with the word and the word was with the power. I go over to the Gospel of John, and I said to you in Gospel of John chapter 1, in the beginning was the word, and the word was Yah. You see the word and you see Yah. Okay, you see the word and you see the Yah. Word and Yah is all power. They work together. And that's why John, the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 1 and 2 is so important. But they dropped the ball, which is okay. They dropped it back in the beginning. Because when you get to John, the Gospel of John, you can see where the word and the power works together. But they worked together not when the world was just built. They worked together. They worked it together before the heavens and earth and anything was. They is. The word is not a book, y'all. The word is not King James 16. The word is not Enoch. The word is not all the lost books and the found books. Those are words. Words of things that have said to have taken. Some of it is anointed, but it's not to make you think that it is the word. You drop the ball back in the beginning, where the word showed up and showed out, and every last one of you missed it. This is how lost people are. They have no idea. So right here When you get to Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 9, it says, then Yah put forth his hand. Well, what is his hand? The same thing, the word and the power. The same thing, the word and the power that was dropped. The ball was dropped back in Genesis, and here it is in the year 2025. They still have no idea what the hand is. The hand is the power. Y'all got a right hand and a stretched out arm on the right side. That is all power. That's how the power bring forth all things. He categorized and named his power his right hand and his stretched out arm. When you go into the right hand and stretched out arm, I think it's something like more than 1,000 verses. So you wonder, how could more than 1,000 verses be in someone's study guide and they not recognizing, what is this hand? What is they talking about? What is this stretched out arm? What are they talking about? Because they never knew that the right hand and the stretched out arm in their study guide has been identifying Yah's power all the time. And they had no idea. Because why? They dropped the ball in Genesis 1. When the word spoke and the power brought forth. The word spoke and the power brought forth. The word spoke and the power brought forth. They turned it into any and everything outside of glorifying the Father in the beginning with his word and his power. They separated the two, and they still today don't know what they done, because those in the days dropped the ball. It been left there. No bishop, no priest, no apostle, no prophet, no prophetess, no Maureen, no pastor, no apostle, no one. It's left on the earth to tell the truth of the matter, except the one that he has appointed and anointed in his end day to give the mystery of the word, the power of the Most High Yah. You run around here all you want, claiming you got the word, you understand the power. It doesn't matter what you say. You're lost with it, a cause, and without. Because right here in verse 9, here it go. Then Yah put forth his hand. There go that power. And touch my mouth. See, Yah tamed the mouths. And this is why I try to explain to y'all. When I was a teenager, when I talked, it was just like I'm talking now. But it was like a squeaky talk, like I talk. And I was in high school. And I did not like it. I did not like when I talk, I go up high pitched like a squeak. And I did not like it. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. Yah said, way you are is the way I want you to be. You remain the way that you are. I made you that way. And I, you see, me, myself wanted to change the way my voice and how fast I speak. Father, come on, work with me, tool me that. No. That's going to be a use. That's going to be some use for me. So Yah knew already that the way that I was speaking and the way that I speak was in him already. And he did not want me to feel that changing it's going to benefit anything in the world or anything in the flesh, for it is needed for a time as this to speak. Now I know it is as a time as this to speak that boldness. It was always boldness at its highest. And that's what Yah looks for today. That boldness. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. That boldness. He wanting us to have and hold firm to that boldness. And that's it. It ain't, don't try to hold on to what people want you to hold on. Hold on to what I have created in you. Because it's not you. It's me that's greater in you. Using your voice. I love that pitch. I'm telling you, the Father had to deal with me throughout my life, especially as a teenager, because he wanted me to understand that he wasn't coming to change, because it was something in that boldness, high pitch, that he needed for the days, not just this day too, but the days to even come, y'all. because I'm about my Father's business. I'm strictly about his business. Now that I'm an old hen, I'm about his business. I was then, and I'm still about his business. So listen to verse 9. Then Yah put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And Yah said unto me, behold, I have put my word in thy mouth. So you want to say, what did Jeremiah say? When I'm a child, I can't speak. Sit down. Sit down. Don't tell me you a child. Did you not hear me say I formed you before the foundation of the world? So what are you talking to me for? I know what you is, what you was, and what you're going to be. Don't talk to me. I rule this. What do you know why he ruled it? He's speaking word, and he bringing up the power to back what his word is saying. Praise the mighty Yah. Then it says in verse 9, then Yah put forth his hand. His hand is the power. That's where the power is. Now, I did this video 2 or 3 times, but somewhere along it was messed up. So I'm hoping, that's why I went live. I wasn't planning on going live, but I did it. And before I can upload it, I said, I look at it, it still was acting up. So I'm hoping that it's okay. Even if it's not, it's going up. It's going live. Now watch this here. When you get to Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 9, you notice Yah said he put forth his hand and touched his mouth. There go that power. Now, here we are in the year 2025 in December. Let me show you how lost people are. What is it with that right hand? You see that hand? I want to show you how you can, it's no such thing that you got his name. You cannot have Yah's name packed down. You cannot know Yah. You cannot say that I have Yah living in me. You cannot say you full of the Ruach, you full of the Holy Spirit. You cannot say those things when you don't know his word and his power. It is him, the Father. But we want to know him by what we want to know him by. Why is it Satan knows that there's more to the Most High Yah than we know? Because we dropped the ball a long time ago and Yah left it there. Until he sent his to give the mystery of what was left in the back and what is to come in this day, to stand on top of what was already prophesied. He finished. He done. And I mean, every time I go and I try to study and I realize, but Father, this been said all this time. This is not something new, people, but it's new because Yah waited to the end when it would be greatly needed. Why? Because this is a time like no other, y'all. This is the worstest time that ever will be and ever shall be. It's the time we're in now and to come. So what he did is, it's almost like he saved the mystery for now so we can kind of wake up. This is what waking up is. Waking up don't mean anything in the Hebrew Israelite movement. That's a cult. That's trash. Because if you don't wake up to the mystery, you don't wake up to spirit and truth, and you don't wake up to the light, you still sleep in darkness. People have made it about something that it never should have been made about. Because the truth be told, every time I go into the study guide, I sit and I say, Father, could they actually be believing in the study guide? Could they really be reading it? Could they really precept it, line it, a little here and a little there? Can they really? Because if they could, they should be teaching what they say they reading. This book is about us. This is about our tribe. This book is about us, the Hebrew Israelite. Well, why us ain't realize you've been an ugly people for a long, long time, even to this very day. So it looked like you should have been waking up to how ugly you been. Not how you the people, you the children, you the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but how ugly I've been existing since the beginning of time. Why is it no one wakes up to that? We're going to get to it because I did not know that he was saying it to Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and Isaiah. about Judah. And I'm like, that's why I say when Yah bring comfort, his comfort, let me tell you, he goes all kind of ways to get you to see because he want to level you down. He want to say, hey, take it. This is the reality of it. So here in Jeremiah, let me show you what he did to me in the message that it's here 3 times. He said, Deborah, take them back to Job, to the book of Job. He wanted me to take you back to the book of Job. And I'm taking you back to the book of Job so you could, your eyes can be open? No. Am I taking you back to the book of Job so that you can understand his right hand? No. I'm taking you to the book of Job to show you that Satan, the darkness, knew that Yah had a right hand that carried all power. That was that same right hand. That same right hand that carries the power and the word that Yah formed into his only begotten son to come down to be the son of Yah with the son of man as one. The mission of the Father. And he said, now Yah has come down as like unto, they say, Emmanuel, meaning Yah with you. So you were supposed to see Yah with us. You were supposed to see, because both mission had its purpose. Yeshua came down for the blood sacrifice for all man's sin, to wipe it off the earth. So what? According for Christ to raise Yeshua up, he did it with all power. Yeah, right. Because it's no way Yeshua can go down with all power. Impossible. Yeshua can't go to the grave. Woo! With all power. Yeshua can't go to the grave with the word. So therefore, the son of Yah, the one Peter identified, the son of Yah, he went to the grave to hold Yeshua, which is the son of man. Hold for what? His power was holding back decay, death. See, that's why you don't mess with my Father. You don't know him. Because if you will know him, you will know him at his work. You will know him at his word. You will know him at his power. 2 came down in 1. We 2 that are in Yah, we are all one. Yah ain't seeing us based on Hebrew Israelite. He's seeing us, when he looks low, he sees us as one in him. Just as Yeshua was the son of man. Christ, which is Hamashiach, is the son of Yah. But they came to work one mission. Yah only have one mission on this earth. He don't have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what is all these religions? All these denominations? What are they for? It's vain and it's facts. It's worthless. You have to understand that oneness. Even when I say that oneness, you got to understand that. Yeshua came to shed the blood for all sin. Because Yah wasn't going to redeem nobody back until they wiped sin off the earth. And they did it. They wiped off. The blood of Yeshua wiped all sin off the earth. Did y'all know that? All sin. When he went to the grave, that was Christ holding death in his hand. And he telling death, don't mess with death. Don't come near it. And death said, I ain't finna bother that. You are all power. 3 days. Christ brought him right back up. Why Christ, Sister Deborah? Why Christ? Because Christ was the part of Yah that came down as the only begotten son to help with the mission of Yeshua. Because before we could be redeemed, he had to wipe sin out of our way. Get out the way. Get out the way. How he did it? He took Yeshua and let him be the blood sacrifice. The blood sacrifice. What hung up on the cross? Flesh. That's what's loaded with sin with us. That's the one that's loaded with sin. And the blood. He had to shed his blood and die on the cross. That's why he was saying, Abba, Abba, why have thou forsaken me? Because you know I can't die with you. The world would have to end if Abba had to die on the cross. Flesh can only die. Spirit can. And the Most High Yah definitely. Don't think he wasn't talking to somebody. He was talking to all power. Why? He began to feel the pain like the flesh of a man, which he came down here as born of a woman. He was the flesh that had to die for all our flesh sin. And he did an excellent job. Did he find it hard at the end? Yes, he did. He went on to say, take away this bitter cup. Not my will, but thy will. And I'm going to show you how dumb the world is. And the world and everybody in it. Let me tell you how dumb they are. When he said in Gethsemane, Father, take away this bitter cup. Not my will, but thy will. Wait a minute, hold up. I thought you was Yah. I thought you was Yeshua, God. So how you mean you woke the dead? You healed the sick? You let the lame walk, the blind see. You even woke up the dead. You mean to tell me? Watch this, y'all. Watch this. You mean to tell me you in Gethsemane and you telling something to take away this bitter cup? Not my will, but thy will. Well, wait a minute. You had all the power in you. What was going on? He was at Gethsemane in the flesh. He can't take Christ to the throne. He can't take him, baby. Christ is the Father who came down and he made himself and formed himself to be a spirit in Yeshua to help him with the mission of the blood sacrifice of the flesh. He went to him to the grave, sat with him those 3 days. Death couldn't come nowhere near Yeshua, even if it tried. And then he raised Yeshua. Even Yeshua, if he could come back and tell you not the story, truth, he'll tell y'all, no, I was in Gethsemane, I was talking to the Father, but I thought they say you are the Father. No, I'm the Son. I'm the son of a man. I come down to die for man's sin, not like males, but flesh. I come down to die for flesh, Deborah. You know that. I said, yeah, but I tell that to the people. It's too late. It's over. That's why Christ brought him up. Who is Christ? Christ is the right hand of the Father, all power. Christ is the word that came down to speak out of Yeshua. Christ is the Spirit of Yah that came down with Yeshua to complete the mission. All the time we had exactly what Yeshua said. Yeshua said in the beginning, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, y'all. It's time to repent. The kingdom of heavens is at hand. It's time to repent, y'all. Y'all, let me tell y'all, the kingdom of heavens is at hand. Why was that? Because Christ on the scene. And you want to run around here and tell people you know his name? Sit down. Because that power, that spirit, and that word that came down as Christ, Hamashiach, don't need your name. It don't need your name. It's the name itself. That's what a lot of people don't know. So this is where he had me to go back into this message. In the book of Job, and I'm going to show y'all exactly how Yah even deal with Sister Deborah. That's why I said those prophets, they did justice for me. But see, I'm telling y'all, I never thought to get in it and read and let the Ruach bring it into the focus of where I'm speaking and what I'm teaching and giving me the comfort of understanding, Deborah, these things need be, baby. This was way back. Those prophets went through what you went through, baby. I like that. That's that comforter. But look what he gave me. He said, go back to Job. And I went back to Job. And Job, he was saying to the Father, listen to what Satan. So if Satan knew about the right hand, why is it people don't know? Why? Why did not people know? Because that shows you how long the ball been dropped. They still don't know today. Listen to this. In the book of Job, chapter 1, let's start with verse 10. It says, because Yah had, the Father had told him to, have you tried Job? Have you tried my servant Job? Here goes Satan, verse 10. Job chapter 1 and verse 10. Now, this is the thing about with me. I understand Satan, which they call the devil. I understand him because I learned that he had a purpose like you and I. The difference between his purpose, he worked his thing out. Even though all the time he was working his thing out, guess what? He knew he only had a short time. He already know his eternal destiny. But yet he came down here to do his purpose. When I come before you, I do likewise. I'm saying to you, I come down here as a servant of the Most High Yah. He's given me the tools to work the position that he has called me to. Where is yours? What would you say, Yah, son, you down here for? Whether you know it or not, accept it or not, you got a reason for down here. And it's either the reason of darkness or the reason of light. But guess what? While you down here, the light has to be revealed. And the darkness has to be revealed. It shows up what it is. Do you know what you are? Do you know your purpose? How do Satan know his? Sister Deborah know hers. Why is it you don't know yours? So here it go. In Job chapter 1, verse 10, Yah has charged Satan by saying, why don't you, have you tried my servant, Job? Satan says this, has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he has on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands. And his substance is increased in the land. Do y'all see what's in there? Yeah. Y'all telling Satan to go after his servant. Satan telling the Father, wait a minute. Don't you know I know you put that power on him? Where's the power in verse 10? Where is the power in verse 10? Job chapter 1, verse 10. Watch how it's actually saying in this book, identifying that Satan had enough nerves to know about Yah's power. Listen to what he says. Verse 10, has not thou made a hedge about him? The hedge is the power of Yah. 99.15 trillion would have never known that. That was the power. That power was about Job's house, about on every side of Job. It was the power that blessed Job, works of his hands. It was the power that increased his substance of his land. It was Yah's power. See, you didn't know that, did you? Yes. In this book, it says hedge. But in me, which is he that's greater than anything in the world, he said, go back, Deborah. Go back to Job. I wanted to teach Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Isaiah. But when Yah say go back, go back. We're gonna nail this time. So he wanted me to understand that hedge where Satan asked me and said to me, "Thou had made a hedge, made a hedge." That hedge was a hedge of power that I put around Job. But look what Satan is sitting here telling him. I ain't finna mess with Job. You think I'm gonna go up against Job when I know your hand have been on Job? That's that hedge you got around him. I ain't finna mess with him. I know you got that hedge. Satan is afraid of Yah's right hand. What happened to us, y'all? What happened to us? Yes, the hedge is the power of protection. Yes. But what happened that we can't see Yah to be that in our lives? Because we dropped the ball long ago on his word, on his power, and on his spirit. We failed not to seek him and wait for him to come in us to teach us these things. We chose the church, the temple, and everybody that got titles to be our teachers, our revealers, till we made everybody else gods. And we done away with the true and living Most High Yah. So here, watch what Satan says to him. So Satan is telling him, you didn't put that power on Job. I ain't finna go mess with Job. Watch this here. Satan said, but tell you what, put forth that hand again, right now. He said, put forth that same hand again. Listen to what he said. Put forth thy hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee at thee to thy face. Satan just told Yah, that same hand that you created that hedge around Job, put that hand back on him, touch him. And I guarantee you, he will curse you. Why? Because he's saying to him, reverse that hedge you got on him. And how do Satan tell Yah how to reverse it? He said, put forth thy hand. Woo! He said, put forth thy hand now and touch all that he have. Why? Because the first hand touched on Job, blessed Job, placed the edge, like you say, of protection all around him. And now Satan said, won't you move that? Use that same hand that you blessed him, his house, and about his house, and you on every side, you blessed his work of his hands, and his substance increased in the land. With that same hand that you put that hedge around him. He said, put that same hand on him and remove that hedge. I bet you. And when he was telling him to move that hedge, he said right here, look at what he said. All that he had. So you know it was the same as what the hedge was around him was all about. Satan tell him, you move that. Everything he has, let me come after it. I bet you he'll curse you. And verse 12 said, and Yah said unto Satan, behold, watch this, y'all. Nobody ever teaches this. You have never heard this, but listen to this. And Yah said to Satan, behold, all that he have is in your power. He gave everything he had hedged of Job. He allowed it to be put in Satan's power. All due to one hand. And the devil, Satan, knew about Yah's right hand. Yah right hand can bless you and it can curse you. That right hand set up in the kingdom on the throne had his two directions: eternal heaven, the lake of fire. That power created those. Putting both where they needed to be before he created anything on earth. Oh, we're going to talk about that. This week, I'm going to teach what took place before the foundation of the world. So he wanted me to bring that to you to show you that all of that, Job 1, verse 10, 11, and 12, identified Yah's right hand power. And he turned around, touched Job to remove his substance that he had power over, that he put his right hand power over, remove it. And he told Satan, what did he say? And Yah said, Satan, behold, that means, look, bro, all that he have is in your power, in thy power. He turned it over to Satan. See, if they would have taught this in the churches way back, they would have taught truth. People today would have a better mindset. They really would. They would even have a better relationship with each other and a better way of knowing Yah. But when they dropped the ball, Yah let it stay there. He did. You would never hear nobody in no place, not even on YouTube, teach you what I just told you. What I just told you. Now, I want to show you something else the Father showed me. He said, Deborah, right there, you just showed them my power. Even Satan, you showed them how Satan knew my power as well. What happened in this day and time? That's why this time, a lot of y'all don't understand why this time is worse than any other time. You know why? It's without the power. You're going to get in trouble, Deborah. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You're going to be in trouble. It's without the power. See, y'all thought I'd be kidding when I say it's over. It don't have the power. Just like he removed the power from Job, that same power, he put a hedge around Job to protect him, to give him, to prosper him, to bless him. Y'all removed that bad boy and told Satan, go after it. You can't change Job. Why is it Satan couldn't change Job? Why is it Satan couldn't break Job? Because Satan's so dumb, like many people are. Dumb. He's so dumb, he have no idea that heavens had already. Go back to Jeremiah. Verse 1. Chapter 1 of Jeremiah, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Satan's stupid. He had no idea. He knew Yah's right hand, which that power, but he had no idea that Job was formed from the kingdom. And the kingdom on the right-hand side, where the sheep return. That's who Job was. That means no matter what he let Satan do to him, he said, okay, you got him. Take everything, do whatever you want. All his substance is in your power. No matter what you do. He was assigned from heaven, not from earth. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people today. They don't understand. Are you earthly bound or are you heavenly bound? You should know. Everything you do in your living should follow. Which direction? Which one are you? And that's a question to each and every last one of you. Are you heavenly bound or are you earthly bound? Job was heavenly bound. That's why Yah said, go get him, go get him. What was he first letting him get? His substance. Because people think they can break you because your substance, they can break you. No, you can't. You can't make me nor break me. I'm heaven bound, not earthly. I'm heaven bound. So what is happening here? The Father want me to drop down to now Job chapter 1. And I'm saying the Father because this wasn't a part of my lesson, y'all. It was Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah. But I'm obedient to the Spirit that's greater in me. Now listen to what he says in Job chapter 2. And it's a reason why he want me to show you this. He want me to show you the difference. And I'm going to show y'all the difference. In Job chapter 2. In Job chapter 2, verse 4. Yah again, because Satan come back around, it didn't work. He felt that he can break Job in pieces because Yah used his right hand to take the hedge from around Job. And he figured out surely everything he got, if I take everything he got, even his children, surely he gonna curse you. But see what, going back to what I'm trying to tell y'all do not understand Yah's breed. You all have no idea of the servants of Yah because Yah has breeded them and branded them already. That's why Satan can't do nothing with Job. That's why Yah said, have you tried Job, my servant? Because he's a servant from kingdom, y'all. He's heavenly bound. Satan can't do nothing with him down here. Same thing with me. I already know that for a fact. Okay? So what is happening is he want me to connect this to it. In Job chapter 1, in Job chapter 2, verse 4. Now Satan now coming back around saying that, okay, that didn't work, but let me do something else. Watch what he says. And Satan, the father asked him, what is he doing? And he said he wanted to do something different. It didn't work. He couldn't break Job. And verse 4 says, Job chapter 2, verse 4. And Satan answered Yah and said, skin for skin. Yea, all that a man have will he give for his life. For his life. Notice he said he'll give for his life. But this is what Satan said to Yah again. Put forth thy hand now. Because Satan can't do nothing to you nor me unless Yah put forth his hand. And a lot of people be wondering why all these things are happening to them. Because you're not found in the right place with Yah no way. You ain't seen nothing yet. Let me say that to you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till you see. And when I say see, it's going to be so much you ain't going to help. You ain't going to have no other choice but to see. That's what Yah is in the process of doing. Because no one couldn't respect, to honor him, to glorify him, to edify him, to magnify him until they see what he's about to do. So now we're in that day where now your eyes going to see, your ears going to hear, but your body is going to feel what Yah is about to allow to take place. Now, then Satan said to the Father in Job chapter 2 and verse 5, but put forth thy hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he shall curse thee to thy face. And Yah said unto Satan, behold, it is thy hand. He is in thy hand, but save his life. What Yah is trying to say, and I know he didn't say it like that, but I'm going to break it down. What Yah is saying, now Satan is saying, you gave me the power to ruin all his substance. Now give me his flesh. Give me his flesh. Truly, I know he's going to curse you straight to your face. Let me do what I want to do with his bone and his flesh. But Father, assure him this. You go near that life, you in trouble. What do that mean? You go near his life. Why? Because the life holds the breath. And the breath belongs to Yah. So he letting them know. You better know where to stand down. Praise the mighty Yah. You better know where to stand down. So Satan knows where to stand down. Satan excited to the point where Yah put his hand forth, meaning put that power to where his power, his hand, Satan's hand, can go on Job. Job went after that flesh and the bones. And guess what? It still didn't work. It still didn't work. People do not understand. Job is heavenly bound. People don't understand Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They were heavenly bound. They were spiritual seeds. When we say we are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we the ignorant people to claim Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the lineage of the blood. I don't claim Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the lineage of the blood. I claim Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the lineage of the spiritual blood of who they are. That's what allowed me to be able to stand with them as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because as flesh, they were like you and I. No different. But in spiritual seed, if you came down here at the spiritual seed, now you are just like they are. They are just like you. We are in this as a oneness, the spiritual seed. But Judah and Israel, they will not claim the spiritual Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They only claim the flesh, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you can't get nowhere with that. Okay, so what the Father wanted me to do is to bring you to the level of Job, letting you see how the respect. That's why I say I don't want nobody tell me about Satan. Nobody tell me. We blame everything on Satan without even understanding. Satan can't bust a move at any time unless the Father put forth that hand. And for this whole world to not know about the Father's hand all this time, it's because you're so busy running around here talking about you know the name. Everybody want to know more about the Father and don't even understand He can give you all that you should know and you could know and you should want to know. But you don't want that. You don't want to know that His power existed in the beginning all the way to the end. You don't want to know that He is the Word. You want the books to be the Word. All the lost books, the found books, and the newfound books. Every book they bring out is the Word. Sit down. Sit down. The Word is He that sits on the throne. Before anything was, He is the Word. The Word was with Him. The Word is Him. And the Word was with Him in the beginning when He said, let. That was the Word. And the power backed the Word that spoke. The power backed it up and brought forth everything that the Word spoke. The power brought it forth. That's the power. That's the Word. So what Jeremiah is sitting here saying is that I'm a child. I can't speak. Why are you, in a sense, why are you sending me to be a prophet to all these nations? The first thing he did, he pulled out that power. Woo, Father Yah. I like that, Father Yah. I like that. I like that. Let me go over that a little bit more. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 9. Then Yah put forth that hand. That's that power. And because people never knew what the power was, they still at dummy. See, the power was always there to support the Word. And the Word was always there to support the power. That's how Yeshua, the Son of Man, was able to perform everything He performed. But why couldn't He perform getting Himself out of what He was in when He was in Gethsemane? He began to speak to what? The power. He said, take away this cup. This bitter cup. Wait a minute, hold up. Yeshua, who are you telling to take away that bitter cup? Deborah, you know who it is. You know who it is. When I just want to say, anyway, when you was on that, when you was being crucified, you said, Abba, Abba, why have thou forsaken me? Why ain't the people in this world precept that, line that, little that here and a little that there? Why haven't the light shine on that? Why haven't the Spirit and truth bust that wide open? Because they don't know the Word and they don't know the power and they don't know the Spirit of Yah. Because He said, tarry and I come. They refused to accept the one that said that He would come and abide in them. They chose the one that was on the outside of them. And they live the way of the one that's on the outside and claiming they on the inside. He's on the inside. No, baby. You either on the outside or He on the inside. And from what it looks like, 99.9 chose the outside, even to this very day. And that's why they don't know. And it ain't meant for them to know. But that don't mean He ain't finna bring the light out of darkness. He said that which was in the dark shall come to the light in the last days. And he ain't bringing it to the light to wake you up. He ain't bringing it to the light to make you straight because you were crooked. He ain't finna open your eyes and he ain't finna set you on your way. It's over. What has been invested in you before the foundation of the world, that's a lesson I'm going to teach this week. What took place before the foundation of the world, where you can understand why Sister Deborah tell people it is over. It's been over. Because heaven wrote out the books. That's why Yeshua was telling Satan, it is written, it is written, it is written. What did Satan say? The last word he said to him when he was taking him mentally to the mount. He told, Satan said to him, and it is written. Because Satan knew it's written too. Yeshua knew it was written too. What's wrong with y'all? What is it y'all don't understand? Everything has been written before the foundation of the world. Where are y'all at? And where are y'all going? So that's why y'all is not worried about you getting it today. It's over. You either going to hear who his servants, Sister Deborah, or you ain't going to hear nobody. Because my page that I'm on, this devil platform, guess what? It's about bringing light out of darkness. It's about his spirit and truth. Yes, the ball been dropped in Genesis chapter 1. But guess what? I'm the ram that was in. I'm one of the ram that was in the bush. Come in this last day to bring the mysteries, to bring light out of darkness, because it's been in there for so long, since the beginning of time. So what is happening now? Here in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 9, then Yah put forth his hand and touch my mouth. Is that not what he did to Job? Same thing. He put forward his hand. Even Satan said it. Same thing. Job chapter 1 and Job chapter 2. What did y'all do? He put forward that hand. Because that hand is all power. And it's a sad thing in the year 2025. Nobody understands all power. They still stuck on what you call stupid. And y'all leave them there. And that's another thing. And that's another thing that also allowed me to feel that I have fear of y'all. Because I look at the idea that he allowed people to be exactly where they at. And that's scary to me. Because I can be on this devil platform, which I have been for 7 years, a little over 7 years. And I'm telling you all, I've given all the pure word of Yah. You can't get it no purer than this. Things people know they ain't never heard before. And it ain't cause they ain't never heard it before. They looking dead at it now in their study guide, but they trying to figure out, well, why didn't I see it? And there it is. Because the Ruach has to allow you to see with the spiritual eye. The Ruach has to allow you to hear with the spiritual ear when Sister Deborah is teaching. You see? But he is not going to come down like the day of Pentecostal. Those days are over. You're going to hear the servants he have set before the foundation of the world for the end days. You either hear those servants that he had, the rams in the bush, for this day and time, or you hear not. It's either already in you, because you ain't going to find it in this day and time. You ain't going to understand it. You ain't going to grip it. You ain't going to be able to hold firm to it. So here, y'all wanted me to show you in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 9 how he took that power to change Jeremiah's mouth to make it what way? So you can speak. Watch this here. Look at what it says. I put mine word in thy mouth. So how can this book be the word? It's not. It never was. Not one book on this earth is the word. The creator is the word. The books are study aids to show thyself approved. That's why he said, come with the righteous to divide what is the word called truth. And it's not found. You can read this book And the word of truth would tell you how it is broken down so you can hear the word of Yah. Here, he put that word into his prophet back in the days. It makes me feel so good to know that he muzzled their mouths his way. He put in them his way. Jeremiah, he did something with his mouth. He did something with Isaiah's mouth. He did something with Ezekiel's mouth. He put that right hand. And that right hand bagged up that word. And that word bagged up the power that they will be able to stand. While Jeremiah sitting here telling him, I don't that I'm a child, I can't speak. Don't tell me no stuff like that. My power is greater than you speaking. My word is greater than you being a child. I told you I knew you before the foundation of the world. Don't come down here and play on me. So he had to put his power, that same right hand that he had a hedge over Job, he put that on his prophet. So my brothers yesterday, they gained that power that Yah put over them. Listen to what he says, verse 10. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out, woo, to root out, woo, to pour down, woo, to pour down, to destroy, and to throw down, to build, and to plant. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Listen to all that he invested into Jeremiah when he gave him the power and his word. But he had to do it by his power. I tried to explain it, and I know that I have not been successful the times I've been on here, and it's okay. I thank the Father for allowing me. When he tell me to go to Jeremiah and go to Ezekiel and Isaiah and just hear him speak to me while I'm reading, it's showing me that's how Yah comforts you. To let you know I'm the same yesterday, today, forevermore. You ain't what you are because of you. You what you are because that same power, that same right hand on them I put on you. That's why you speak so bold. And your boldness of speaking don't have nothing but cutthroat. You think that's you, Deborah? No, that's you. That's me. That's that power of boldness that I put in you. That's going to remain in you because that's the way I need you to speak. Now listen to this. So he says in verse 10, see, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out, to pour down, to destroy, to throw down, to build, and to plant. Do y'all see that? One thing I looked at, all of that is coming up. It ain't no play, y'all. None of those things that Yah placed in him through his power is play. None of it. And then it says to build and to plant. A lot of people would say, see that? When you throw down and when you pour down, you throw down, it's always a time to build up and to plant. But you got to understand what he said. To build up, to build, and to plant. That means he has to plant the spiritual things of Yah to build on. He has to plant. So he has to give them the things which are spirit to build them up into. So his mission was to tear it down, first and foremost, everything down, and build up on who Yah is in them, spirit and truth. That's what he's building and he's planting, spirit and truth. That's what he's planting. That's what he's building. And when we tell you how a lot of that didn't turn out that way, y'all got to hear how these brothers lost their lives. All this that he put in them. And it says here in verse 11, moreover, The word. There go the word. So how could this word of Yah be this book? It can't. Never was, never will be. Moreover, in verse 11, the word of Yah came unto me, saying, Jeremiah. You see, that's who the word is, the Father, y'all. And this is where people keep messing up. And they don't care because it makes sense to their flesh and it's foolish to their spirit. Which one is eternal? The spirit. So why is it you taking the way you want to see it in the flesh, the way they want to teach you in the flesh, the way you want to understand it in the flesh, and you leave it at that? So here it says, and Jeremiah, what said it thou? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree. Verse 12, then said Yah unto me, thou hast seen well, for I will haste my word to perform it. What does that mean? Right there when he said to Jeremiah, for I will haste my word to perform it. He's showing y'all exactly what this whole message was telling y'all in the beginning. The word is the power, and the power is the word. You speak the word, that power gonna back you up, Jeremiah. That's what he said. You speak that word that I put in your mouth, that power gonna back it up. See, that's why people didn't understand the servants of y'all thinking it's just people just because you see them and they flash, they look human to you like and make you feel, oh, they just like we are. Yes, we are. But there's something greater in us than that which is in the world. And that is a mission to serve Yah on the earth in spirit and in truth and in the light. So in verse 13, it says, and the word of Yah came unto me a second time. Well, who is this word coming to you like this? Why are these people in this world, in the whole world, will say that the word is books, lost books, found books? Every book they can find, they say it is the word. But that ain't what Jeremiah said. Ezekiel ain't saying it. And Isaiah ain't saying it. You see them saying that Yah came. Because Yah is the word. We just lied. Not we. They just lied. And the lie lives higher today than it has ever. Because people still feed off of it. So then it says, then it says here in 13, and the word of Yah came unto me the second time. Why would why is Jeremiah making you think that the word is Yah? Because the word is Yah. It's not a book. And the sad part about it, I'm going to be honest, I would have never thought that Yah would allow people to take on books and make it the word. I wouldn't, and that's why I said when they dropped that ball in Genesis, he let them leave it there. Why? Because he had already orchestrated everything in the kingdom, where everything is going, and the purpose therein. He didn't care what y'all decided to do on the earth. He already knew the plan in the kingdom before it was even on the earth. So he already knew it. That's why he's not battling with so many people going toward the dark side and living bad and going and dying bad, because he know where you was at from the kingdom level, not from the earth. See, y'all looking at it from the earthly level. He got it wrote in from the kingdom level, where you supposed to be anyway, is where you at. And that's why people can't find their lane. That's why people can't find their purpose. But they'll judge everybody else's, but yet they can't find theirs because they're a long way from home. So here in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 13, and the word of Yah came unto me the second time, saying, what seest thou? And I said, I see it a pot, and the face thereof is toward the north. Verse 14, then Yah said unto me, out of the north an evil shall break forth upon all the inhabited of the land. Verse 15, for lo, I will call all families of the kingdoms of the north, said Yah, and they shall come, and they shall set everyone his throne at the enter of the gate of Jerusalem, and against all the walls thereof round about, and against all the cities of Judah. And I will utter my judgment against them, touching all their wickedness, who have forsaken me. You see how he said, how he's doing those who have forsaken him? Forsake me, and have burnt incense into other gods, and worship the works of their own hand. That's a real good one. The works of their own hand. A lot of that is going on in this world today. People are looking and boasting and boosting on the works of their own hand and the prospering of their own hand. They have made it their Yah. They're not their Yah, but their God, because they figure, hey, I got mine. I know I got it in my hand. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And it's in their control. Let's put it like that. People makes their own God within themselves with their own hand, because they figured, all I have to do is do this, do this, do this, and I know I got this. This is about me, and that's what they do. Okay, so verse 17 says, thou therefore gear up your loins and rise and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their face, lest I confound thee be before them, unless I confound thee before them. He's letting them know, don't mess with me, Jeremiah. Don't mess with me. Be not dismayed at their face, lest I confound thee before them. Don't mess with me. I put through with my power, my word in you. Do what you're supposed to do. Say what you're supposed to say. And don't be afraid of their faces. Okay, so right there was Jeremiah. This evening, I will be live and I will bring you Jeremiah and Ezekiel, not Jeremiah, Isaiah and Ezekiel, the prophets of old that speaks to the prophetess. So I hope you got something out of that. And I will be back live again at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I'm going to cover part 2 of the prophets of old speaketh to the prophetess today. I appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live, and I hope you got something out of it. But guess what? You're going to even get more when you hear what Yah mission Isaiah and Ezekiel. And I say unto you, shalom and shalom.